We'll try to make it as loose as possible today under some tragic situations. Again, good afternoon. I'm Mark Bryant. I have the distinct pleasure of representing the family that sits before you. We just wanted to take a few minutes today to say hello. There's been an unbelievable media push, and I think today probably the most important thing is we just want to get a message out of strength and hope to everybody out here and put a face on things. It's a difficult place to be today. Our community is in great sorrow. I think it's a hard place for this young man. I think it's a hard place for his family. I think it's a hard place for our community to be. So it took quite a bit of courage for him to step up here today and say hello to all these faces and cameras and microphones and all the above. But courage, as we now have learned, is nothing new to this young man. So without too much further ado, he's going to say hello to what's going on here. Again, a remarkable young man. We'll let him share some details with you. I'm asking that we not ask too many details about the case itself. There's an ongoing investigation. I've already expressed to some of the media that we are cooperating even as late as this afternoon, right here where we sit, with a couple of the investigators on the case. So our first and primary concern is to preserve that for our community and otherwise. But I think it's a great opportunity to put a face of youth, of courage, of hope, of sacrifice before you today. So without further ado, Brendan, please introduce yourself.
My name is Brendan Bialy, and I'd like to simply start off first by I want to thank you, Mark. He has been a tremendous help during this whole thing. It's been a very wild couple days, and before I say anything else, and I mean anything else, I am sitting right here. However, there are a couple other students who aren't. One of those being Kendrick Castillo. He passed away. I saw it happen, and I want to make something very, very clear. Kendrick Castillo died a legend. He died a trooper. He got his ticket to Valhalla, and I know he will be with me for the rest of my life. Seriously, I love that kid. And the other one doesn't want to be named, but I know you know who you are. Love you too, man. Seriously. Any questions, anything?
You have a lot of, I think, almost like animated joy across your face. You're smiling. It's kind of surprising in a way, given the circumstances that you were in like 24 hours ago. Can you just talk about how you're able to smile through what you went through?
Absolutely. What I saw yesterday was the absolute best of people. I got to see two heroes, two regular high school kids, two really awesome people jump into action without any hesitation, and I was more than lucky to join them in doing that action. Someone entered the building with incredibly malicious intent, using their cowardice, surprise, and superior weapons, and they lost. They completely and utterly lost to good people, and that is plain and simple.
Why did you do what you did?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think, it's hard to answer something like that. Like, I remember just feeling absolute and complete fear when he walked in, but once movement started, it's either fight or flight, and I'm just more than happy to know that what I thought I'd be able to do in a situation like that was the reality of what I did.
Brendan, maybe you can tell us in what way Kendrick signed his ticket to Valhalla. You say he's a legend. People are calling him a hero. Can you just describe to us the moment that you saw him jump into action and what he did and what you did?
You can talk about the approach that you do take, but not too much more detail.
Yeah, absolutely. It was immediate, non-hesitation, immediate jump into action. There was no questioning, there was no hesitation, there was no looking around. It was threat noticed, action time.
But what does that mean? Did he try to get in the way of the shooter?
He was on.
Try to jump on him?
He was. Kendrick is like a bowling ball when he gets moving, and it is very hard to stop that kid when he starts going. And so that's exactly what happened. The gunman was there, and then he was against the wall and didn't know what the hell hit him.
So Kendrick charged him.
Friends, weren't you?
Kendrick is a incredibly close friend of mine. I've known him since the beginning of high school, and he was a complete and absolute key part of STEM and my life.
How did you all decide to jump into action?
Oh, it's not a decision. It was just go. In my brain, it was complete and absolute fear, but Kendrick went up, I went up, and it went to it.
What did you do?
Got on the gunman, and I tried my best to stop it as I could.
Was he firing as you did that?
It's okay.
Yes, during the skirmish, he did fire once or twice.
Were you ever afraid?
No. When he first brandished the pistol when he entered the room, yeah, absolutely. But it was very bizarre. I can't explain it. I'm not like some grrr, baddie, macho. It's just there was fear. I still look back at it and I still feel a bit of fear when I think back to it. But after that point, it is just doing what I thought I should do.
Did you disarm him?
It's okay.
I did indeed, yes. I did, yes. With the assistance of both of those boys. Like, it was not just me, it was not just Kendrick, it was just not the individual. I just happened to be on the right side, was able to get the handgun away from him.
Were you in the group that helped try to save Kendrick?
It's okay.
It's just like, when it came to actually, I don't know what you mean by save per se, but when he was shot and I saw him on the ground, and once the threat was no longer, because once the other student who was helping us there was still on top of him and he was done, and I handed his handgun, I kept it in a safe direction and I went over to Kendrick and I gave him multiple verbal commands, questions, and he was not responding. And then once a teacher came in, I tried my best to assist with that.
Is this stuff that comes naturally to you, or is this part of your skills and things that you've learned with being a poolie with the Marines?
I don't know, I probably credit these two, Mom, Dad, right here, probably for that. I don't know how I would have acted in that situation. Like, it's not something I practice for. I mean, I think everybody has this idea, is like, what if somebody comes in with a gun? What do I do? I think everybody thinks, I mean, I thought that, yeah, I'd jump in, but I'm just happy I did. I didn't think consciously I'd do this and then this, it just happened.
Brendan, can you walk us through again describe to us step by step what Kendrick did to become a hero? Physically, did he charge the shooter?
Yeah, even...
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah, he charged the shooter and immediately was on top of him. Complete disregard for his own safety. He was immediately there to respond. He was immediately on the shooter and he was ready to end the threat.
Did you know the shooter personally?
Yes, I did. Yes, sir.
Surprised?
No comment.
Was he in your class? Was he supposed to be in your class now?
He was in the class, yes.
Were there one or two shooters in the room?
From my recollection, I only saw the one. However, the way the room is set up, there are two different sides to it, and I'm pretty sure there were two. But I only saw one, and I only dealt with one.
There's some word that one of the doors to the two rooms was locked or barricaded. You know anything about that?
No, sir. No, sir.
You say you give a lot of credit to your parents for your swift and brave and courageous actions. I can only imagine what it must have been like too then when you saw them yesterday.
I don't know. I love seeing him. I'm very close with both my parents. Love them to death, right?
Good answer.
But I think I was so hopped up on adrenaline and I was so focused on making sure everybody else was good, focused on what was going on in the moment that, like, I called them. They knew I was good, and I wanted to make sure everybody else was good.
Brendan, back to the question about helping Kendrick. We heard reports that some of the students were applying chest compression, that kind of physical aid. Were you doing that?
Yes, along with one of the IT teachers there, once he came in.
You wrote on your Instagram you refuse to be a victim.
Yeah. In situations like this, I'm very happy you asked that. Like, I really do appreciate it. And that's exactly why I'm smiling here today. I was there in the room. I was in there in the room with multiple other people. A couple students got shot. One of them didn't quite make it. Why in the world would I let this coward get what he wants? Like, why? I'm not a victim. I refuse to be a victim. Kendrick refused to be a victim. The other students refused to be a victim. And I will live the rest of my life, whether it be this situation, in any other situation I encounter. I'm not going to let somebody just get the upper hand on me. That's ridiculous.
Brendan, did anything prompt the shooting? Did the shooter say anything? Did anything happen?
It's unknown right now. It's a whole mess.
How are you and your friends dealing with the loss of Kendrick?
For myself, I know there's a lot of school events going on. There's a lot of candlelight vigils going on. There's meetings, lots of talk with counselors. One of my friends, he's dealing with it by keeping to his house. One of the other students who shot was helping me on the ground. He's at home right now. He's at home. And for myself, I am looking at it in the most possibly positive way. Again, Kendrick went out as a hero. He didn't go out running. And I'm not saying anybody who ran is a coward. I'm really not. But Kendrick was there. He was a foot away from the shooter. And instead of running the opposite direction, he ran towards it.
How do you move forward?
One step at a time. My life doesn't change. This is just another thing I can add to my tool belt, and I get to help other people.
You say you don't want to be called a victim.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are calling you a hero.
I don't know about that. I think I legitimately appreciate everybody who's walking in who gave me smiles, people at school, people on the internet. Like, my Instagram is full of people who are in the Marines, in the Army, in the Air Force, in the Navy. Messages after messages, students from Florida. I got a message from some girl in Ireland just thanking me. Like, I couldn't be more thankful, but every time I hear something like that, I need to let them know that Kendrick Castillo and that other student were in the thick of it, rolling on the ground, where I was too. Like, I'm not the only one.
We saw every one of you follow him on social media now, by the way. I saw that.
Plus hundreds of thousands of others.
That's right, that's
How
right.
far away from the shooter were you?
Couldn't be more than 2 feet. He entered the left side of the room, and I was sitting at the desk closest to the left door.
So he wasn't in the classroom when it happened. He came into the classroom.
I think the story is that he arrived late.
Yeah, he arrived late to class, walked through the door, and that's when it began.
What kind of gun was it?
Unknown.
Do you, it's reported that the school has metal detectors. Are they still up right now?
Unknown. We don't know.
Was he able to get a shot off before Kendrick was able to rush him?
I don't quite remember if it was before, but I know for a fact, during the skirmish with Kendrick and myself on top of the gunman against the wall, there was 1 or 2 shots, yes.
And which gunman did you tell?
No, I can't answer that, sorry.
As a graduating senior, do you hope to see any sort of policy change from the school district, government, anything like that?
No, not unknown, yeah.
Brendan, what do you think would have happened had Kendrick not rushed the shooter?
I don't think that matters. He did. He did. I may have been shot, but I wasn't.
Do you think other people would have been killed? Did it give people time to get away?
In the most respectful way, they didn't. And that's where we're at right now. And I couldn't be more thankful that Kendrick did what he did. I'm so happy that my body did what it did. And I'm so happy the other student was able to join in on it too.
You're someone who clearly has a lot of courage and bravery and strength. You're a unique person, to say the least.
Thank you.
There's going to be a lot of students, and I don't know if it's yourself included, but that might be fearful to go back into a classroom or might be fearful to go to school. Are you that type of student? And if not, what do you say to your classmates or fellow students to be okay going back into a school?
It's a scary thing, you know. I'm not going to pretend it's not. It's terrifying. It's a spooky thing, especially when you're in a class and you hear gunshots around. You don't know what's going on. But I'm not going to go to school. I'm not going to go other places fearing myself. Like, I'm not going to let some coward who decided to exercise his last little pathetic hoorah have any determination on my life. And to people who are worried, and I don't blame you. It's a serious thing, especially when the limelight is on you, it's on your school. You think it happens to lots of other people, but then it happens to you, and it's like, now what? I guess the best thing I do is when I get stressed, get a glass of water, eat some food, take a breather, seriously. The world, there's bad people out there, but there are a lot of good people out there too. There's far more good in the world than there is bad, and I promise you that, seriously.
What was the IT teacher's name?
I'm sorry?
The teacher's name who helped?
The IT teacher.
It's okay.
Mr. Pritchard.
The Marine Corps had pretty high praise for you today. Did any of your work with the Corps as a member of the, I think it's called the delayed enrollment program,
Delayed entry program.
did that help you respond in the classroom
okay.
yesterday?
Yeah, I think there's so much that helped me in that situation. Like, so many little things that I've just picking up on, I'm paying attention, the YouTube videos I watch, the people I talk to, my parents, my friends. But I'd say becoming more physically fit and the speed, volume, intensity, being able to act, not think about it, and just get it done. Move towards the sound of chaos to stop it.
What has your interaction with the Corps been in the last 24 hours?
Very positive.
I mean, what have they said to you, or what have you said to them?
They released their official statement. They were incredibly respectful. Very close contact with my recruiters in the office in Parker. They've been awesome.
What kind of aspirations do you have in the Marine Corps in the future?
just like I hope to continue doing on, I want to help people. I mean, joining the military, for anybody who's curious, who still wants to join, there's like, whether it be the Marines or the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, just know that there are so little negatives to it. Seriously, so little negatives, and at the very end of the day, the reason I joined is to help others, and I'm going to do that, absolutely.
So what do you hope to take from this experience into the Marines? How do you think it'll help you when you serve?
The confidence to know that I will be able to act when I need to act.
When you, if there's a possibility that the suspects may be viewing you either now or in the future, would you like to address them directly?
No answer.
Brendan, did you know both suspects or just the one who was in your class?
I knew both suspects.
Was the other one also in your class?
No.
You just knew her?
Yeah.
From school.
What did your parents say to you when you were first reunited?
God, what did you get? You okay? Like, you good?
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, something like that over the phone. I don't know. You know, parent stuff. I just reassured them all good, and I just going back to helping my students once everybody's evacuated out of the building.
Did you at least give him a hug when it was over?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I heard your dad on KOA radio talking about you and your bravery when I was driving down. What did you think when you learned about that he was talking all of Denver about you?
Wow. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I was so focused on other things during that, like yesterday, that like my dad talking on the radio briefly was like, yeah, all right, cool, I guess. Yeah.
There's a lot of images that came out of obviously what took place yesterday, and I think a lot of what sticks with some people are the younger students.
Yeah.
The elementary students, a lot of them with the fear, some that were praying, many who were crying, who clearly don't have as much life experience as you do. What do you say to maybe their families or to those kids? I mean, that's a very frightening thing to go to at any age, but let alone being in those elementary ages. Yeah,
No kidding. I could seriously only imagine what those younger kids, those elementary school, middle schoolers, shoot, even freshmen, seniors, man, that's intense stuff. That's crazy stuff. But again, to those parents, let those students know that choosing to take this as a fearful experience, choosing to let this consume you, and choosing to let this dictate fearfully your child's future, know that you're not doing any good. They are with you. They're right there. Know that. They're with you. They're good. Don't choose to be afraid. I guess make the choice to give your kids a positive outlook on their future, on the world.
I think one of the things you're experiencing today and why we decided to let him step up, besides the overwhelming push, is this defiance, this resistance to what has been termed as evil in our community, which continues across the country. And I think one of the situations that we wanted to highlight was this young man and his defiance and his strength for his community and the people around him, that his family's made him so strong. And so that's why he wanted to put his face out here and say hello, not because of who he was, but because of what other people have done and the message that he's sending out here of love and hope and strength. This does not define anybody. This simply strengthens everybody around him and what's been going on in respect to the family. So we're going to take a few more questions and then go from there.
There've been so many of these before, and I suspect this isn't the last one, and there'll be many more. As a young person these days, do you visualize what it is you're going to do in a situation like this? Do you like dress rehearse it in your head?
Yeah, I got kind of a weird glitch brain, but like, I have, and I've talked to all my students. One of the students on the ground, the other students who were there, who were in the classroom. Everybody like plays it in their head. I mean, it's publicized so much today. I don't know. It's not so much more prevalent. I mean, it's publicized quite often, but yeah, everybody thinks, what am I going to do? And I definitely did. And I'm just, again, beyond grateful to these guys, the genetics, the people I surround myself with. that I was able to act the way I was hoping I'd be able to act.
They say run, hide, fight, and I think people can visualize running, they can visualize hiding, but maybe not so much visualizing fighting. Did you actually visualize fighting in a situation like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like the idea of running and hiding. There's certain situations, if you got to get out of them, you got to get out of them. But like, I'm not going to like cower or move out of the way for somebody who's right in front of me. And there's like, seriously, I'm not. I'm gonna somebody like that, I'm gonna fight them. Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Hey, Brendan.
Yeah.
With Kendrick's father.
Not yet. I have not, but I will. I will absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you knew him? Tell us a little bit more about Kendrick. What do you guys like to do?
Oh yeah.
YouTube videos you like to watch?
Oh my, yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, Kendrick, I was in STEM at 8th grade. 8th grade kind of sucked. Not gonna lie. I don't. Yeah, 8th grade, no good. To those watching who are not yet there, sorry. No, Kendrick, I met him freshman year in my internal combustions engine class, which was a great introduction to Kendrick because he's a complete and total car guy. Anybody who knows him, anybody who's seen his lifted Jeep Cherokee, yeah, you know he's a car guy. Talked to him for 5 minutes, he's a car guy. And we were close friends ever since that class. I did TSA, Technology Students Association. Didn't like it, but Kendrick was a good part of it. We watched goofy videos together, driving around in our cars, like just hanging out after school, just talking. I mean, especially like junior and senior year, and now that we can drive and whatnot, taking cruises together, just talking. He was a fantastic, wholesome person, and anybody who met him for 5 minutes knows absolutely knows that he's top tier.
Was he into robotics?
Oh yeah, he was a total nerd. Like car stuff, electronics, all that. Solid procrastinator. I'll tell you, I have never met anybody who procrastinates as well as Kendrick. Love him for it. Are you kidding me? That's just part of Kendrick. I love him, seriously.
Do you know if he had any plans for after high school?
He did, but he had plans for after high school, but if you told him exactly what was going to happen, I have no doubt in my mind that he would have not hesitated in the outcome that would have happened. Kendrick is an outstanding person, and yeah, refer to what I've said before.
Were you injured?
I was blessed by something. Somebody was watching down on me. Somebody, I don't know, was watching down on me. Even though it was just inches away, I didn't get shot. The only thing I got are some scrapes on my knees.
Brendan, a week, a month, a year from now, when people look back on what happened yesterday, what do you want? You have the control of this. What do you want people to remember?
That bad people, cowardly people with no prospects other than that of attempting to wreak fear on their students, completely and utterly failed when they stacked their odds against them. They completely and utterly failed in the matter of half a minute. And I want people to take away, not my name, but I want them to take away Kendrick's name. Out of anybody, I don't care. My name can go away to the sands of history. I don't care. Kendrick Castillo's name should stick in your brains forever. It's going to stick in mine. It's going to stick in the students who go to STEM's minds forever. That will never leave us. So it's that name and knowing that you do not have to be a victim in a situation like that at all. Choose to take action. Choose to help others afterwards. Yeah.
Did it surprise you that this happened at a school like STEM?
It's an interesting question because I think no matter what school it is, people can joke about it, people can bring it up, talk about it, but nobody thinks it's going to happen to their school. Like it happened over there and it's awful, but it's never going to happen to me. I mean, like seriously, the beginning of yesterday, I had no, like if you told me this was going on, I'd be like, yeah, all right, cool. Like, no, that's not, like, normal, like, regular people don't just think about that. They don't just think, oh, this is going to happen to my school. No, I didn't think it was going to happen.
Not addressing history, actual history, did you ever have a feeling about these two, or did you, like, I guess, stay away from these guys, or?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that one.
I think we had a chance to get through quite a bit here today, and so I'd like to end this at this point and thank you guys. What I wanted you to see is what this face looks like.
May we ask Mom and Dad one question?
Please, go ahead.
They're not my
I got it.
Okay.
I heard you on KOA yesterday as well. No, not you? Oh, I apologize. But when you made the phone call and he answered, what happened after that?
When he made the phone call?
When I called you?
Well, I was at work with clients, and
It's fine.
I knew something wasn't right, and I saw his number pop up. I saw his face pop up on my phone, and it was a parent's worst nightmare.